Johnson gets a huge contract extension, well-deserved. And you know, as soon as they get cap space from that extension, they're going to go out and make a move. And they do. The Eagles signed safety Terrell Edmonds, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, welcome to the better town, the better team in Pennsylvania. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. We got Eagles breaking news happening right now, baby. Eagles breaking news. And this is probably good that this is breaking because the last video I just did was an epic rant that I probably shouldn't put on here. But the Eagles, they signed safety Terrell Edmonds, which is what I think is a very good signing for the Birds. A lot of upside, low risk, and this is a good signing. Coming after them signing Lane Johnson to a massive extension, which he deserves. Now, we're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, most throttled, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while and you're part of the family, you took the oath, you can't get out of Dingbat Nation now, baby. But thank you so much for all the support you give to me. Without you, this could not happen. Now, just so you guys know, I literally just came home, filmed a video about the Lane Johnson extension, went off on some frustrations I have about everything with the draft. And then the Eagles make this signing. So I kind of have to, put that video away. Maybe put it out later or something like that. But Lane Johnson signs a huge contract. Adam Schefter said this. Eagles are giving all-pro right tackle Lane Johnson a one-year, $33.4 million contract extension, including $30 million guaranteed per source. He is now under contract through 2026. Johnson hasn't surrendered a sack the past 2 seasons, even playing last postseason with a torn adductor. He hasn't surrendered a sack in 2 years. Okay, in 2 years. That's unbelievable. And then he played on a torn adductor. Well-deserved. Lane Johnson totally deserved this contract. I'm glad he got an extension. He deserves it. He's been the ultimate team guy, restructuring every couple months, it seems. And I don't know why he doesn't get more respect nationally around the league, because teams treat him, people treat him like he's the 5th, 6th best right tackle in football. The guy's the best right tackle in football. When you don't give up a sack in 2 years and you play like that, you're the best. He's the best. And the Eagles, they signed him because they want to continue to be great. Now, if the Eagles want to continue to be great, especially on offense, you just need to finish it off, if you know what I'm saying. Draft number 5. But signing Lane Johnson, and I said this in the video I just did, that as soon as the Eagles signed Lane Johnson and freed up space, they most likely were going to sign somebody. Every time the Eagles have basically restructured somebody's contract so far this offseason, it has been followed by the Eagles making a signing. And that's what they just did. Ian Rappaport is saying the Pound Eagles, not hashtag, are signing former Pound Steelers first-round safety Terrell Edmonds. Sources say their second safety added in the last week after allowing C.J. Gardner-Johnson to head to Detroit. He gets a one-year deal. Now, I think this is a really good signing. I think Terrell Edmonds, I don't think he's as good as C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you. I've seen there's been trying to compare statistics. I don't think he's that good. Not yet. But he's young. All right, he's 26 years old, and I think he's got a lot of upside. And I think a change of scenery going to Philly is going to help him a lot. ESP, as he called himself, says the Pound Eagles safety Terrell Edmonds. He's 26 years old. He's played in 79 games with 75 starts with the Steelers. 5 career interceptions, 276 solo tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 26 pass defenses. Last year he had 70 total tackles, 0 interceptions, 5 pass deflections or defenses, 2 sacks in 15 games. 31st in NFL coverage, 40th versus run among safeties per PFF. Now, there was another tweet that he did. I don't have it up, but it was comparing the rankings to C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and they were pretty similar, okay? And for those that don't know, Terrell Edmonds is 6'1", 217 pounds. So I think this is a good signing. I think you've basically this week you have got your two safeties to start. You got two starting safeties going into next year, and I think with James Bradbury and Darius Slay, okay, that allows you to take chances with a guy like Terrell Edmonds, a guy who I still think has a lot of upside, by the way. And I think this is a good signing. I think it's probably, I don't know what the numbers are, but it's going to be cheap. It's a one-year deal. And Terrell Edmonds is going to come in, he's going to try to have a big year, and then he's going to go make big money. That's what he's going to do. This is a perfect move by Howie. This is a smart, sneaky move by Howie Roseman, okay? This is another one of those moves that really has to make me think about what this team is doing this offseason. All right? There are two lines of thinking about this offseason. I keep bringing this up and I keep asking this question, and only have had a couple people answer me. Do you look at this offseason as we're building for the next few years and we're willing to take a step back next year? Or are you saying, yeah, we're building for the next few years, but we're also trying to win Super Bowl next year? Me, I'm saying the latter. I'm saying we're trying to win Super Bowl next year and we're building the next few years. Okay, I think the Eagles are doing that too. When you sign a guy like Terrell Edmonds, you're saying to the fan base, we are trying to win next year. We are trying to get guys in that can play right away. He doesn't have to be C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but when you have guys like Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, when you have those guys, and those guys are in your defense and in your secondary, it's going to make Terrell Edmonds' job a lot easier. And maybe on some level, the Eagles felt that because C.J. Gardner-Johnson had that also, it helped a lot. This kid's nice size safety, big safety. I'm actually very excited about this move. The more I think about this signing, the more that I really like this signing. The more that I think about restructuring Lane Johnson, bringing back Brandon Graham, bringing back Jason Kelce, Fletcher Cox. You got Darius Slay extension. The more I think about that, the more I have to come up to the conclusion. This team is trying to win next year. They're also trying to build for the future, but they're trying to win next year. So we all need to get into that mindset of we're trying to win next year as well as build for the future. So if you want to win a Super Bowl next year and you want to be the best that you can be, because I don't want the Eagles to put out a team that's just okay or just okay in some places. I want a great team. I want an elite team. I want to kick everybody's butt. I want players that have 2 years of playing with no sacks allowed, like Lane Johnson. I want greatness. I want greatness. And I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to say this, and I said part of this in my other video. I'm getting fired up about it again. If we're going to build this team to win next year, do it right. Now, I'm not saying you go all in because you don't go all in. You build your defense over the next few years. You restock and you retool it through the draft. You got guys like Terrell Edmonds that come in. They're basically bridge. He's a bridge safety. Unless he goes out and has a great year. He's going to hold the fort down, and he can. He's better than Marsha Epps. He's better than Marsha Epps. I tell you that right now. So, to me, the Eagles, even though they lost Javon Hargrave and they lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson, they've slowly patch these holes, and they're going to have a decent defense. They're going to be able to go out and get sacks. They're going to be able to have a good secondary. They still got some work to do, I believe, at the linebacking position. They're not getting older. They're not bringing in guys 30 years old. These guys they're bringing in are all 26, 27 years old. This is what you want. This is how you do it. Howie's doing the right thing. And I don't think it's going to stop here. I think there's the big banger that's coming. I think there's the big move, okay? And this leads me back. It always leads back. It's going to lead back to the same thing over and over again. It comes back to the draft. What are you going to do in the draft? You've got to restock and rebuild your defense, but you also got to try to get better on offense. You see, you have a chance for something historic here. My belief is when I look at our offense and I see a guy like Lane Johnson, 2 years, no sacks, torn abductor, Jason Kelce, best center in football, Landon Dickerson, one of the best young guards in football, Jordan Mailata, hell of a left tackle. When you see these guys and they go out there and they play at the levels that they do, you realize this is the best offensive line football. Not to mention, you got 2 number 1 wide receivers on both sides. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. 2 number 1 guys that are totally different type receivers. And they complement themselves great. They complement themselves perfectly. Then you have a great tight end like my man Dallas Goedert. Great. So when you look at this offense, they're ready to go. When you look at the running back situation, last year you had an explosive running back in Miles Sanders. He's gone. Have you replaced him? Have you replaced him? You have Rashad Penny. Tons of talent. Hasn't proved that he can stay healthy. You're going to need another running back. Could that be Zeke Elliott? I don't know. If you're really excited about 3.8 yards a carry, something like that, great. To me, it's like the Eagles buy a Ferrari. They buy a Ferrari, and then they put bald tires on the Ferrari. It's like you have this beautiful sports car, and then you got these bald tires, these trashy tires are about to pop. You got these old-ass tires on your Ferrari. That's what it is to me when you think about bringing in a guy like Ezekiel Elliott in. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Go get the best tires. Get the tires that are going to last over the next 4 or 5 years that you can just go full throttle. All right? This is why I have to keep coming back to Bijan Robinson, draft number 5. Because what the difference between drafting him and not drafting him and bringing in just these running backs on one-year deals cheap is the difference between just being a good offense and being something special, being something that people remember down the road. The Eagles have a chance at greatness. They're one player. Oh, my God, I forgot to put my baby on. Paulie Walnuts would be proud. But, what the hell was I saying now? Yeah, okay. To me, the difference between, like Zeke and Bijan Robinson and these other running backs and him is that you have a chance for greatness. You could be a really good offense this year. Great. You could be a good offense. But you could be something special with a guy like that. When you have a GM who goes out and is bringing back right tackles like Lane Johnson and centers like Jason Kelce, when you're bringing back great players with the best offensive line in football, why hold back? Let's go full throttle. Let's have everything ready to go. You bring Bijan Robinson in, you're going to have an offense they're going to be talking about for years. You don't bring him in, you're just going to have a good passing game and an okay running game. I really believe that. Even though you have a great offensive line, they'll get their yards, but you want to go to another level. You want to take this thing to another level and something special. You're one player away. But Terrell Edmonds, great signing. Totally love it. I think the Eagles did a great job there. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. One thing here I also want to point out about Edmonds is and ESP is putting this up. Edmonds only missed 6 tackles in 886 snaps last year. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, 11 in 729 snaps. So he's a better tackler. I don't think he's a better safety, and maybe not the ball hawk C.J. Gardner-Johnson is, but he's going to fill a nice hole. The Eagles' defense, their secondary, is actually starting to look pretty decent. It still would not tear me away from drafting a safety if possible in this draft, but I like this move. I give the Eagles an A+, and I like how he's actually doing. Denzel Washington out.